Hi, I'm Carly.
Hi, I'm Catherine.
Hello, I'm Chris.
I'm Elizabeth.
And we're going to be discussing our use of props for our demonstration speech. I demonstrated what to do if a type 1 diabetic passes out from low blood sugar using a glucagon and their diabetes testing kit. Catherine demonstrated how to make homemade chocolate chip cookies, and she used the ingredients that you're going to need and the materials you will need, and she did a great job making it simple so that everyone can do it, a skill that everyone can use. Chris demonstrated what to do if someone goes into shock from bleeding. He had materials that you'll need in case someone goes into shock and how to stop the bleeding. He also, like Catherine, made it very simple, something that everyone can do, and it was a necessary skill that everyone in the class may need to know since we're health professions, most of us. And Elizabeth demonstrated how to correctly put on PPE. And again, a lot of us are going into the health professions field, and so that is a necessary skill. I personally volunteer in a children's hospital, and it was nice to see a reminder of what PPE is and how to use it, and she had all the PPE there, so it was very helpful.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that your demonstration was really easy to follow because you actually put on the scrubs and the glove and the mask yourself. So we got to see how you did it, and the correct way to do it was really easy to follow because it wasn't just explained, it was demonstrated. So I saw how to take off the gloves without touching your skin for contamination, and explained that really well, the different types of contamination and airborne diseases. So that was cool. So I learned a lot from your presentation. And then Chris, with yours, I found it really interesting that like the different types of ways you can figure out if someone's in shock, like the pale clammy skin, and I didn't know all of that, so that was good to know if I ever see someone experience that. And I also found it really interesting the way you showed us how to like stop the bleeding with the prop, and you wrapped up the arm and put some kind of a stick in there to really be able to tighten it to cut off the bleeding. So that was really good information as well. And then for Carly's presentation, yours was also really beneficial because within America itself, we have so many different diabetics, and so that's a really common disease. So it's important to know how to help someone since so many people have it. So since you showed us what's important with the glucagon, how to measure that and test them and get them better if they've passed out, that's really also super good information.
It's great.
Oh, the other thing I was going to say, Chris, your use of a volunteer, that was great, so that we could actually see like how to stop the bleeding and everything.
Yeah, the volunteer really like kept the class interactive with your demonstration.
I thought Carly's demonstration speech was pretty good. I thought the way she was able to, like during her whole speech, she was very clear and precise, which was very good. And it helped to kind of, it wasn't all over the place. You could tell that you practiced it and you really knew what you're talking about. Catherine's was really good. She taught us how to make cookies, which is great. Who doesn't love cookies? That's right? What you said, right? Yeah. So I thought your little pitch to kind of get the audience engaged and to understand why it matters you're giving the speech was good.
Thank you.
Yep. One improvement I think you could do for next time is to bring cookies. So we could actually try the cookies.
I was gonna initially bake them, but the lack of oven kind of.
It's cool. Just
pre-baking would have been a good idea.
And Elizabeth's was very good. I found it interesting because I actually have a interview on Friday for an ER tech. So I'm gonna have to use the PPE thing and really understand how to do that. I thought yours was I can't remember her other name. Was it Yvette? Okay. Well, Yvette, she did the same thing you did, but I thought yours was much more clear, and you really described how to. You really described how to like put it around your ears, and like you made sure you got all the little technicalities in there, which I thought was a-okay.
Awesome. I was like super nervous.
That was good.
Chris, I thought yours was really good because I didn't know how to do that. Like I'd never seen it demonstrated before, and then your use of like a volunteer, like you clearly showed how to do it. So
Okay, good.
yeah, and you brought like the right materials and everything, so
All right.
it's all clear. And
Super
then
clear.
Catherine, yours was really good too, because I don't think, like you said, very many people know how to even make homemade cookies or anything.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was cool how you brought like literally everything to the exact measurement and showed every single step. So
Except for cookies.
except for the finished cookies. but
Someone's
that's fine.
bitter, okay? I'll bring cookies sometime.
And then Carly, yours was really good to know because I've never seen a demonstration of that before, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people wouldn't know what to do in that situation.
Yeah.
And then you not only like showed us what to do, but you explained what each device was, and then or what it might like how it might vary and what it looks like or anything. But it was like super clear. Really good job.
Thank you.
I have a tip for you. Maybe, I don't really know. But instead of also glucagon, is there something else that you could give a patient who is a diabetic that doesn't have the glucagon with them? Like,
Unfortunately, because they'll be unresponsive, unless you can try and give them orange juice, that's a good thing, like put it on their
Something
lips.
to like spike their blood sugar.
They also say icing from like cinnamon rolls, if you put them on their cheeks, that should help raise their blood sugar, but it
So
won't do
like
it
icing?
enough. Kind of, yeah.
like the football players, like
It won't do it enough to,
really get them.
get them like
back up.
back up enough, but that is like while you wait for paramedics, if there's nothing else around,
That's what
that
you do.
those two would be options.
would you be able to like just an idea like I thought of when you were saying that, like just put like actual sugar in their mouth and like their like saliva would kind of absorb it and like melt it
That's
in their
another-
mouth? Like is that like the kind of the idea of what you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, those are all definitely other solutions, but because the glucagon, so a normal blood sugar is between 80 and 120 for a type 1 diabetic,
Mhm.
and that will only bring them up. So when they're low, like low pass out can be 50 and below, and so sugar in their mouth might only bring them up to 65 or whatever, and the glucagon will raise them like 100
Okay.
almost. So
And-
it'll raise them into like the good range and get them back to being responsive like right away.
Is it also because it goes like right into the bloodstream instead of having
Yeah.
to like
Oh, that's-
digest it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
It's really interesting.
Right. That was our
Yeah, that was our
discussion.
presentation.
Overall, I think our group did a pretty good job.
We were
I was
probably the
impressed.
best,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty impressed with everyone's demonstrations. So, no complaints.
Speech freaks out.
In